I am breaking up with my boyfriend over milk. I am not the original poster. That is you, throw away milks. They posted in R, true off my chest. Fun fact to cover up spoilers. Since this has to do with milk. A milk fun fact. Apparently in ancient Russia, frogs were put in milk buckets to keep the milk from going sour. And it actually works. Trigger warning. Abuse. Blackmail. Violence. Attempted kidnapping. Less than. Mood spoiler. Oop is okay but bleak. Less than. Original post. March 19, 2023. English is not my first language. I live with my boyfriend and we've had conflicts now for over 5 months because of milk. Approximately 6 months ago I found out I'm lactose intolerant and it made me change all my diet to avoid stomachache and nausea, in which is working pretty well. I do not expect my BF to change his diet to a costume. Editor's note: probably accommodate me. So we've been buying our own groceries to not impact one another. In my country, plant-based milk and lactose-free products are much expensive, but since I love my cheese and milk, I buy it anyway. The problem is that my partner eats it all when I'm not home and doesn't replace it by buying more. I don't mind sharing food, but it's really disrespectful of him to not leave some for me. He knows lactose is something my stomach can't handle, but he still eats and drinks my products when I'm not around. It made us fight a lot of time and it's been ongoing for 5 months until now. This morning, seeing less than 100 milliliters of my almond milk made me go absolutely crazy due to the fact I was more than 10 hours awake after my shift in the hospital and just wanted some latte. He keeps saying is not a big deal, but the fact that he chooses to consume my stuff and refuses to admit his mistakes makes it unbearable. How my boyfriend treats me is absolutely outrageous, and it made me see that he don't treat me as an equal due to how many disrespect I've been enduring. I can't take it anymore. Edit. I bought a plane ticket to return to my parents' home. My boyfriend, soon-to-be ex, thinks we are okay since I've been quiet after he yelled at me saying I was overreacting. I've sent a message to my boss and she said it is fine for me to work online. Edit 2. I was thinking about writing a letter to my boyfriend since this was my first relationship. Dear BF, I am leaving a 5-year relationship in which was full of red whom I couldn't see due to my rose-tinted glasses. My favorite nickname that you gave me was Doll, but now it makes me want to puke. The naive old me thought it was because you loved my dark hair and my love for pink. But now looking back, maybe it was because how dumb I look just to please you by obeying every single word like a spell. I know deep in my heart you will blame me for the breakup or maybe the milk. None of these were the issue. You are the problem. Every time you disrespected me by consuming my almond milk was like someone slowly plucking petals. Because every single act of disregard made my love for you die. Honestly, this fate couldn't be prevented. We know where we are in each other's heart. The only mistake was making you the priority when I clearly wasn't. Thank you for being my first, but unfortunately you won't be my last. Goodbye. Update. Same post. March 22, 2023. 3 days later. Update. Yesterday was a bit chaotic, so I didn't have the chance to log on Reddit. While my ex was at college, me and my 4 friends packed everything I bought over the years. The only thing I left behind was our engagement ring, photos and the house keys. I left the heavy and big stuff at my friend's house and she will be shipping it to my parents' home. God bless her. I arrived during the night at my home city and my phone wasn't even on. So for several hours peace was there for me. No more screaming. No more disrespect and no more stolen milk. Today when I finally turned on my phone, there was more than 74 calls from him. The messages were between begging me to come home and talk it out to threatening to expose my nudes. Tell everyone about my ADHD. Find me and make me regret. I am quite afraid of it. So I showed my parents these texts. We are planning to spend several days at our beach home in another state until it is safe and get a police report. I don't know what will happen after I file a report since in our country, Brazil, the police is a failure. Update post 2, March 28, 2023, 9 days from OG post. Hi, it's me again, and today I'm going to give you all some bad news. In my last update, I told you all about traveling to my beach house in Bahia and it saved my life. Here is awesome. I missed being sun-kissed and having so much fun at the beach. As I mentioned before, traveling to my family's beach house was what kept my life since my ex-boyfriend wanted to fulfill his promises of bringing me home at whatever cost before leaving. I told the building administration that my ex is not allowed to enter the condominium since he's a threat. This morning my parents received a call from the doorman saying they called the police because my ex-boyfriend showed up and tried to find me. He was able to enter since I forgot to delete his Face ID. But fortunately this monster was stopped at the reception. At first, he tried to talk to the staff saying it was all a misunderstanding and we're back together. But they asked for proof and this idiot couldn't even provide for it. He became very violent and tried to attack the staff. So they called the police. When they started searching him and his bag, it was found a pair of knives, gloves and plastic bags. Now he's in the preventive detention. I am still shaken up at the possibility of me being murdered by him. So this will be my final update since we will be suing him. The fact that it was all caused by milk is really shocking because it made me see that the man I almost married is a monster. Thank you all for the support and advices. I don't know why but my comments aren't showing up, but I want to say I'm really grateful for everything. Edit. To those who are harassing me at my DMs demanding proof, I have only a thing to say. I don't care what you think. For the sake of my privacy, there won't be any information about the condo, the CCTV footage, nothing. This is confidential information. I am a victim. Stop harassing me for proof. I think the only way for you all to believe is if I have been really murdered and have my face at the news. Please stop and leave me alone. OOP's comment. I will try to make some updates. I think this will be my personal journey of healing. I'm so glad Oop and her family were at the right place at the right time. That ex was going to force her to reconcile or ensure no one else could have her. Hope he isn't released for a long time. When I learned that she is Brazilian, I actually began to feel afraid. It is really common in Brazil for men to kill their ex-partners as a way to get revenge. I really hope she is safe. Edit with data. Latin America is considered by UN the worst place in the world for women to live, excluding war zones. In Brazil, 10 women are killed a day just because they are women. Cases known as feminicides. 80% of these are by partners or ex-partners. Please be mindful in your comments. Dude went from 0 to mustard levels in a heartbeat. For real, though. Glad she's safe and that asshole got caught before he could accomplish anything. Art when women refuse. Well, that escalated quickly. But that's not surprising. It wasn't about the almond milk. Or the Iranian yogurt. Rolling on the floor laughing. It always amazes me how the tipping point is so small in toxic relationships. It's always just the one thing that you just can't ignore or justify. I'm sure as the Oop look back there were plenty of red flags, but this was one that was smacking them in the face every day. That's terrifying. Flushed. Redditors demanding proof. I don't get it. It is Reddit. Dude. Take it as a life lesson or as entertainment. Ya ain't gonna get more. I always wonder if it is creepy abusers who are prying for identifying information. Also, Oop and parents did sort of expect a violent reaction. They did notice the red flags. Good on them. Glad she's safe. This is a prime example of how dangerous it can be to leave an abusive relationship. It's not as easy as people say. And how help is needed to get out. Abusers try to isolate their victims for one of these reasons. Makes it harder to leave. I'm glad she had help. Oop finally realized, it wasn't the milk, but the disrespect. I hope she stays safe. The Brazilian non-dairy wasn't the issue. I see I'm not the only one whose thoughts went immediately to the mustard. The lactose-free milk isn't the issue here. I hope she realizes one day that this whole relationship was stinking of pure abuse. And while she could only see it on the milk issue, everything else seemed fucking terrible. But she broke off and escaped, and I hope the beaches of Bahia grant her the peace she needs. As a side comment, dairy-free anything is frigging expensive in Brazil. I wouldn't have broken up with him. I would have thrown some laxatives in one of the milk cartons and watched him howl in the bathroom. How the hell did they figure out that putting frogs in milk buckets would keep the milk from going sour? Were they just dropping random animals into buckets of milk to see what would happen? Yikes. Literally are. When women refuse, this is absolutely terrifying. Glad she was away. Assholes gonna victim shame every time. Whoa, didn't expect that from the title. Yes, Reddit is quick to say break up cuz it can provide third-person perspective which many ops can't see due to their abusers. Thank God she is safe. First mustard guy, and now milk guy. What is with this trend? You know a relationship is doomed when the things that didn't bother you start bothering you, big or small. Eventually everything that person does bothers you and it becomes unbearable to be around them.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. EpicAriaCast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.